So we have two senses, which are known as our chemical senses, because they rely on the breakdown and reaction with different chemical molecules. One of those is taste, and taste and smell both are considered chemical senses. They both also definitely play into each other through a process known as sensory interaction. As you know, if you've ever had a cold, if you aren't able to smell anything, it's really, really difficult to taste things. Those two are very closely linked. There are some people who lack a sense of smell, that's called anosmia, and they really struggle to taste anything at all. So we're going to go through specifically the sense of taste right now, but definitely understand that it hinges on a working sense of smell as well as some of the stuff we're going to go through. Now, you have different types of taste that you respond to. There are actually five different categories that we are going to use to sort of separate out what we taste. But the first thing we want to clarify is that these types of taste are not the product of different zones of your tongue. There's this idea in some that you're able to taste different things only on different parts of your tongue. So the tip of your tongue responds to one taste and the sides responds to another. That research has been debunked. It was popular for a while, a little bit in the past, but it's no longer scientifically supported. So that's the first thing we need to get out of the way. However, there are five different types of taste, which all food seems to fall under like one or a few of them. And we have different reactions to the type of taste because each taste seems to indicate to us something important about the food. And taste seems to serve an evolutionary purpose. We enjoy tastes, which are going to increase our survival. And we tend to dislike taste and sort of turn our nose up at things that taste a certain way because they potentially do not serve any sort of, survival purpose for us. So first type of taste is sweet. And sweet is something which is generally universally craved. We enjoy sweet things, and that's because when something tastes sweet, it indicates to us that there's the presence of sugar there. And your body needs sugar because your body needs energy. And so we think that we crave sweet things and we enjoy sweet tasting things because, very simply, our body needs energy in order to survive. Salty oftentimes goes right along with the taste of sweet. This indicates to us the presence of, and the reason why it's important that sodium is inside of food is that our body needs sodium in order to do a whole lot of things. You think of even something like sending an action potential, that involves sodium ions. So your body really, really needs sodium for a lot of physiological processes. And so that's why salty things are also things we tend to crave because our body knows that we need them, so it's going to make us want to seek them out. Now, here we get to one of the first tastes, which we don't really universally love. Things which taste sour, yes, we might eat them sometimes and we enjoy them in moderation, but we don't really love them and embrace them the same way we do with something that's sweet, for example. I think in some ways we like sour things because you almost feel like you're living dangerously. Like, oh, look, I can bite into a whole lemon and live to tell the tale. But things that taste sour, one of the reasons why we think it makes us react with a less than awesome reaction sometimes is because it indicates the presence of something really, really acidic and potentially toxic to us. You can experience a little bit of this even if you've ever gotten too excited about eating pineapple, for example. You eat too much pineapple, which has a lot of acidity in it, it'll burn off your taste receptor cells. They grow back. I mean, your taste receptor cells grow back every like 10 to 14 days. But you can definitely burn them off for a while. Sour Patch Kids, if you've ever eaten too many of those in one go, again, you'll burn off the surface of your tongue. So too much acid is definitely not good for your tongue, and it's not good for your system. And so that's why we think things that taste sour, we don't love the same way we do maybe something that's sweet or something that's salty. Bitter falls into the same category as sour in that the bitter taste seems to be linked to like a warning message evolutionarily. A lot of poisonous things taste bitter. A lot of poisonous berries taste bitter. I've been told arsenic tastes bitter. I can't vouch for that myself, but I have been told it has like a bitter aftertaste. So something that tastes bitter, think like Like cranberry juice, when you drink cranberry juice and it tastes like really dry at the end, that's what bitter tastes like. Coffee, like maybe burnt coffee or black coffee, that tastes bitter. Cocoa powder, if you've ever done any baking, you might have accidentally thought, "Ooh, I love chocolate, like I'll love cocoa powder." You won't love cocoa powder. It's super, super, super bitter. But that bitter taste tells us it might be poisonous, so maybe we should stay away. And then last but not least, we have the taste, which is potentially the least well known, at least the name of it, unless you watch a lot of cooking shows. This is umami. I like to say it umami because it's more fun that way. But things which taste umami are savory, sort of like a meaty taste. If you go out and you have a steak, for example, that like earthy, hearty taste that you have when you eat a steak, that's umami. If you're a vegetarian, I imagine like a nice bean salad would taste umami. It's just that really savory taste that indicates to you that there's protein inside of the dish you're eating, and that's a good thing. Your body needs protein in order to repair your muscles and your tissues, and so that's why we tend to seek out umami tasting things. So those are the five types of taste. And what's really, really interesting about taste, I think in particular, is that it's more perceptual than we might imagine. Obviously, it's a chemical sense. You have different like taste buds and like taste receptor cells located within those taste buds on the surface of your tongue that react with food that's being broken down by saliva. But what you actually taste isn't just strict sensation based. There's a whole lot of top-down processing that goes into forming your perception of food. What food looks like really, really matters. If you ever watch Top Chef, you know that. Like presentation is key. There was a product a couple years back which didn't really do well in the market. Different colored ketchups. They had like green ketchup and purple ketchup, and people didn't really like it. They thought the ketchup tasted like just a little bit weird and a little bit funny. It didn't because it was just food dye, just like red ketchup is 100% just food dye. Ketchup is not naturally that bright fire engine red, but visual appearance matters to us in terms of what food tastes like.